Preparing for the upcoming Pyro system is going to be one of the biggest paradigm shifts for Star Citizen players that we've ever had. And that is not hyperbole. When you have a system that is going to be over 3 times the size of Stanton, Stanton being 5 AU, Pyro being 17 AU across, you're going to need a completely different set of ships due to fuel concerns and also the fact there's only a single station that is in all of Pyro that's actually in active use and can offer services. And oh, by the way, it's run by a bunch of pirates. And that's not a bad thing. I believe that Pyro is a place that will have incredible opportunities for those that are willing to take the risk and take the dive into this other system. But it will certainly be a massive change in how you consider your own security and how your org operates as a group. And you will need defensive builds on fleets, and money making opportunities will be far more dangerous than they already are in Stanton. I think that one of the biggest ways we can think about this is another game, EVE Online, where we had low-sec systems. These were systems that were not actively patrolled by Concord, which was the overall law enforcement advocacy group, I would call it, in the game. And this is the same case in Pyro. There will not be any UEE representation unless it's part of an event, et cetera, that will actively come out and save you. There will not be customs agents that will be actively patrolling the lanes of some owned corporation area. Instead, there are simply factions of pirates. Now, the latest lore write-ups have said that the pirates in charge of this area are going to be Ninetales. And that may change, but I think that's an interesting perspective to think about moving into a system where the only services are offered at a station that's run by the group called the Ninetales that we're going to be busy blowing up very soon in the Ninetales lockdown and the next door in Stanton. I suspect that they're not going to have us all start off on the wrong foot with this group of pirates, but it is something to mention, and I thought that was interesting. So let's go back to the paradigm thoughts here. The shift in thoughts of being self-sufficient and reliant on you and only trusted members of your organization that you're working with mean that every single person in a group of ships and in working in your ships needs to be able to bring something to the table. Each ship has to be chosen for its endurance, for its ability to offer utility, for its ability to bring everything you need and nothing you don't. And each player that is going to be in these ships needs to consider that there will be longer play cycles, and there may not be enough beds for everybody to log off at any given moment, unless you plan that through. One of the biggest things I think that will play out later on will be refueling mechanics. Being able to maybe even have a logged off alt or a friendly org member that is keeping, say, a Starfarer Gemini or a regular Starfarer logged off in the system, because it may not always be good to be going back to the station. You may also need to consider about tactics, such as everybody logging off and then trying to switch servers to avoid issues that you may face. And I said the word log off, and I mentioned beds as well. Currently, this is a very buggy process, and I think that as Pyro comes online, the only real way for us to be in such a massive system with only a single station to come back to, where literally if you get stuck in that station, you could in theory be trapped there by players or NPC pirates, etc. We'll see how that shakes out. Will be that we need reliable log-off mechanics in ships. Beds will become essential, and you'll need one for every single member of each crew. And that is something that might be a little bit of leeway if you have time to plan it out, where people can transit ship-to-ship docking or EVAing between ships, so somebody can serve on a ship that may not have enough beds where they're needed, and then transit over to another friendly ship and log off in that other ship that does have enough beds. So that's, once again, how ships can kind of become symbiotic and feed off each other's utility to work together and create a fleet that is able to do things. So just to recap a little bit here, Plan your ships for utility, endurance. Think about and talk with your your org mates and friends about how that could all work together, and start thinking about this now. I'm not saying go every single person go buy a Carrack or something, but if even if you're in a small class of ships, if you have refueling thoughts and process, and you're thinking about where the bed's going to be and things like that, if you truly want to spend a lot of time in Pyro, these things will become king. That way you're not bound to a single station that may not always be friendly. This has been a Distilled with Red J discussion about preparing for Pyro. Please like, comment, and subscribe as needed. I would love to have some discussion about this, because this is kind of a free-form thought here, and a major shift for all of us, including myself. Thank you.